At GalileoWills, we understand that it's quite a traumatic process for the family to go through, so we've built a proper process and a proper system to assist the family and to ensure that the process with the administration of a deceased estate goes through smoothly. The first step would be that the executor needs to submit certain documents to the Master of the High Court to get the letter of executorship. So there's a death notice that needs to be completed, an inventory, an acceptance of executorship, and then also certain other documents that needs to be submitted, like a copy of the deceased ID, the original will, and then of course also the death certificate. Then the Master of the High Court issued the letter of authority. The letter of authority essentially gives the executor the mandate to proceed with the administration of the estate. The executor would then proceed to collect information, to understand what is the assets involved in the deceased estate, what is the liabilities, what is the outstanding tax submissions that needs to be submitted to the receiver of revenue. And the executor also follows a process to advertise in a local newspaper and the government gazette to establish whether there's any claims against the estate. So essentially it's an information gathering process, and then the executor is in the position to prepare the liquidation and distribution account. Now, the liquidation and distribution account is essentially an account specifying the assets and the liabilities and all the costs involved with the administration of the estate. And it also specifies the income received and expenses incurred after the date of death, and also estate duty calculation. Then this liquidation and distribution account also specify how the assets will be distributed to the beneficiaries in terms of the will. So this liquidation and distribution account must then be submitted to the Master of the High Court for approval, and then it's also advertised again in the local newspaper and the government gazette, and to give the opportunity for anybody to submit any objections against the liquidation and distribution account. And the liquidation and distribution account must also be submitted to the receiver of revenue and also lie for inspection at the local magistrate's court. So if there's no objections, or if there's objections and the executor has dealt with the objections, then the executor can proceed to settle the liabilities in terms of the liquidation and distribution account, and also to proceed to transfer the assets and the estate out to the beneficiaries in terms of the will. After the executor have implemented the conditions of the will and the liquidation and distribution account, the executor requests a filing notice from the Master of the High Court, which essentially is a confirmation that the executor complied with all the obligations in terms of the Act. So that is the procedure with the administration of estate. So it's important to appoint a competent and experienced executor that understands the process to follow, because there's a lot of administration functions that needs to be fulfilled. Thank you.